All right, so today is October the 11th, Monday. Please make sure that if you haven't already, that you put your first and last name at the top of your packet. Again, it's 10, 11, 21. This is the 8th week. Next week is the last week of the quarter. These are the assignments that are due this week. We have our warm up. We have our equations project. Both are due Friday. Okay. Please make sure that you work on these daily. Okay. You work on these daily. The only day of warm up that we're not doing is Thursday. So we have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday's warm up. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, we're not doing the Thursday warm up. Okay. We have our unit test. We have a unit test Tuesday. That's tomorrow. Today, we're working on our warm up. We're going to finish. We're going to go through the study guide. If we have enough time, please work on makeup work. Do not forget, oh, I forgot, interactive notebook is, the digital interactive notebook is due Friday. Tonight and each day this week, we're working on the equations project. We The study guide is the last page that we're going to put in our notebook, which is page 30. So that's the last page that we're putting for the first quarter in our interactive notebook is going to be the study guide today, okay? And that's going to be page 30. So that's where we're stopping the notebook for this quarter. It's page 30. All right. Okay. This is quarter one. We're stopping at page 30. And then we'll start all over again for quarter two. Any questions about that? Yes, babe. I still have a couple of papers. That's okay. I'm not going to count the ones that before you came. I'm not going to count those against you anyway. Um, that's what I was trying to say. All right, let's write down the essential question. What is a linear function? What is a linear function? What is a linear function? All right, warm up. Okay. With the warm up, remember this is written in function notation. The number in the parentheses is your value for x. So x here is equal to 9. And we're going to substitute this value to figure out what your f of x is. Okay? Let's go ahead and complete this. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to probably maybe like 4 or so minutes to complete those. Okay, so this is how you do these. The very first one, the number in the parentheses is x. So you're going to replace x with 9. So that's 3 times 9 plus 23. So that's going to be 27 plus 23, which is 50. It's multiple ways that you can write that. Either y is equal to 50, f of x is equal to 50, f of 9 is equal to 50, or you can write it as an ordered pair. You know that x is 9, so put it first, comma, 50 is y, so put it second. Any questions about the first one? Okay. The second one, find x. It's telling you that h of x, which is the same as y, is equal to 16. So you're going to replace h of x with 16. So you put 16 in the place of h of x or y. So you have 16 is equal to this other side of the equation, okay? This expression. To solve for x, you're going to subtract 9 on both sides. 16 minus 9 is 7. You're going to bring down the negative 2x, divide both sides by negative 2. 7 divided by negative 2 is negative 3.5. You can write it as an ordered pair, or you can write it just as x is equal to negative 3.5. This is a literal equation. You're solving for b. You got to get rid of the denominator first. So multiply both sides by 4. That's going to give you 4g. Bring down your equal. This is gone now, and you're left with b plus 2. To get b by itself, you got to get rid of the positive 2 by subtracting 2 on both sides. 4g is already there, so it's 4g minus 2 is equal to b, or b is equal to 4g minus 2. The last one. Remember that f of x is y. So y is equal to 1. So I put that here. And the number in the parentheses is your x. So x is negative 1. That's the numbers in the parentheses. And remember, f of x is y. So my y here is 1. So this is my ordered pair. That's the coordinate point. Negative 1 for x and 1 for y. Any questions about that? All right, let's look at the project. The project is called a choice board. It's a tic-tac-toe board. So you're going to answer 3 problems. You can either answer across here, across here, across here, or you can go down, 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 or you can go diagonal this way, diagonal this way. But you have to answer 3. You can't just sporadically answer 3. It has to be either diagonal or straight up and down, vertically or horizontal. Okay, but you choose 3 problems. Make sure that you show all of your work on, this is not right day. Sorry. It's October. It's October what? No. Friday is the 4th.
Oh, Friday's the
15th. Thank you.
Wait, so it's going on Monday or Friday? I thought it was
Friday.
Wait.
What?
So how would we like space it out?
You write it on a separate sheet of paper.
So we do 3 each night.
What? You can do. It's only 3 problems that you're doing. You're either gonna do. You know how to play tic-tac-toe or no?
Yeah.
So we don't finish this whole thing. We only do 3.
You only do 3.
You only got. You get basically just have to win the game of tic-tac-toe. You gotta get 3 in a row.
You gotta get 3 in a row. This way, or this way. I thought you said you know how to play tic-tac-toe.
I just wait, but
If you want to do the whole board, you can.
Wait, so you only have to do 3 for the whole week?
3 in a row. Just 3.
Just 3.
Oh, okay. I'll overthink it. See,
I was like,
I was like,
I don't care if you do all of them, but the assignment is just 3. 3 this way, 3 here, like you playing tic-tac-toe.
Oh, okay.
We don't write it on here.
No, don't write on this. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now you when you write on it, it's just that you did this one, and this one.
All right.
Or you want to use circles. I don't care which one you use. If you go diagonal this way, if you go, if you want to use circles, I don't care. Yes. Yes. All right. Anybody else? Mm-hmm. You got it now?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just 3. Okay. All right. Okay. Please put this in your folder so that you don't lose it. Remember, next week I'm going to check to make sure you have all of your packets in that folder because I'm going to give you extra credit for having all of 8 of them. That's why I told you keep it in the folder. Well, sorry, no extra credit for you.
What about me?
Huh?
What about me?
You have the packets from the other class though, because she does packets too. All right, here we go. Take out your study guide. That you are putting this in. This is page 30 in your interactive notebook. Okay. After you finish it, glue it some kind of way. I probably would glue this bottom part. So do it like this so you can just open it up and see it. Okay. Or if you want to staple it, I have a stapler. It doesn't matter as long as you put this in there some kind of way. Okay. Because all you're going to do is take pictures and upload it to your digital anyway. Yes. I hadn't decided if it's going to be a test grade. It's going to be big though.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So do you only get extra credit if you have every single one of them?
Just every single one of them. That's it. That's it. That's all, baby. All or nothing. Sorry. I told y'all not to show nothing away.
Ah, my
Here, just use this one and I'll not write on it. Here, come get this one. Yes, babe. After. It's after here. You're welcome, baby. All right, here we go. Study guide. Super important that we understand these. So as we're going along, if you have questions, you need to make sure you get your questions addressed, okay? This is the study guide. All right, the very first one, number 1, it says right here, what is the value of x such that, and then it gives you the inequality. So all you're doing is solving for x. So I'm going to rewrite that. It's a minus m, and all you're doing is correcting your work at this point because you should have already completed it. And as you have questions, please just make sure that you ask. We have mx, we have less than p minus m, and we are solving for x. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so to get x by itself, we got to work on the side that has x. We're going to get rid of the a first. This is a positive a, so we're going to subtract a. Okay? When you subtract a here, this is gone, and you're left with a negative m, because it's a minus in front, x. Bring down the inequality. What you need, babe? You have a question? Are you good? What page is what? This is going to be page, the study guide is going to be page 30. Bring down the less than sign. P is already there, so it was P minus M, then minus A. I don't know what any of those letters represent, so leave it as that. Make sure you write this down, because remember, you had a lot of questions. Okay, do you need to move closer? Are you sure? Because I don't see you writing, but I do see you spaced off. That concerns me. I need you to focus because I know you had a lot of questions. Who's sitting right there at 21?
Bryson. Bryson's not here.
Oh, come sit right here today. Come on.
Here we have it.
Okay. So now here, look at this. We gotta get x by itself, so we gotta get rid of negative m. Negative m is attached to x by multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. You have to be after Alyssa. So we're gonna divide both sides by a negative m. Okay. So when we divide both sides by a negative m, this is gone, and I'm left with x. What's going to happen since I divided by a negative number? This inequality is going to flip. So this is going to be p minus m minus a divided by negative m. Okay? Got it?
Yeah.
All right. Sometimes they may simplify this completely, and that's going to cancel these out. This right here in the center, and it's just going to be p minus a divided by a negative m. But we'll just keep it like that, okay? We'll just keep it. Number 2. Okay. This one's saying that what is the value of x such that, and they give you this inequality here. Okay, so we're solving for x again. So we have 5x plus 2a. This is greater than 2x minus 3a. Okay. All right, so here we're solving for x. So that means that we got to move the variables to the same side. We got to move x to the same side because we don't have distributive property. So let's move 2x, move the whole thing over here. So to move a positive 2x, the whole thing over here, not detach it, but to move all of it over here, you're going to subtract 2x. Any questions about that part? Okay. When you subtract 2x here, this is going to give you 3x. Bring down the plus 2a. Bring down the greater than sign. This is gone. And bring down the negative 3a. Okay? Remember, the goal is the same. You have to solve for x. Are there any questions? Please stop me if you have questions, okay? So here, you've got to get rid of the 3, but you also have to get rid of this 2a. Which do you move first, the 3 or the 2a? The 2a. Good. How do I move a positive 2a to the other side?
Subtract 2a.
I subtract 2a on both sides. So when I subtract 2a here, this gives me 3x. Bring down the greater than sign. And here, this gives me a negative what?
Negative
5 what?
A.
A. Because those are like terms. You can't combine those. We still got to get x by itself. So to get x by itself here, you are going to divide both sides by what number? 3. Remember, the operation between 3 and x is multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. 3 divided by 3 is 1x on this side. Bring down the greater than sign. Here, it's already reduced. It's an improper fraction. 5 over 3a. Well, sorry. Negative 5a divided by 3. This is your answer. You don't know what a is, so you just have to keep it. Any questions? Yes, baby. You want me to move it up? No problem. Please stop me if you have questions, okay? Let me know when you have it, okay? Yes, sir.
On the last problem, on number 1, why did you flip? Like, why did you flip the grid? Like, stuff?
Did you hear what she said? All right. Are you understanding that now, babe? Okay. Very good, sweetheart. Number 3. Did you finish it? It says, number 3, what is the solution for the following? And we're going to write this equation. It's 4.3x plus 4.4 is equal to 19. Let me move this out the way. All right, so we got to get x by itself. What do we get rid of first? The 4.3 or the 4.4?
4.4.
How do we get rid of a positive 4.4?
You subtract 4.4.
You subtract 4.4 on both sides. Line up by the decimal, okay, when you're subtracting. So we need to put a decimal and a 0 here. So now this is gone, and we're left with 4.3x, or 4 3/10. Bring down the equal sign. Okay, so here, some people call it borrowing. It's called decomposing a number. But anyway, you know borrowing. So we borrow. This is 8. This is 10, right? Okay, so what's 10 minus the 4?
6.
We got 6 here, and then we got 8 minus 4.
4.
4. And then we bring down the what?
1.
1. And I probably should have just wrote this down, right? 14.6. Okay. So now what do we do to get x by itself? Yes.
Divide by 4.3 on both sides.
Very good. We're going to divide by 4.3 on both sides. So here we're going to use long division. 4.3 goes here, and 14.6 goes here. So when you divide a decimal, remember your divisor, the number that's on the outside, has to be written as a whole number. So we have to move the decimal over once to make it a whole number, 43. However many spaces we moved it there in the divisor, we got to move it that same number of spaces in the dividend. So what we're looking at is 43 into 146. How many times will 43? You said 3?
Yes.
So let's try 3. So over to the side, we got 43 times 3. What's 3 times 3?
9.
9. And what's 3 times 4?
12.
12. Okay, so we got 129. Okay, so now we subtract. We do decomposing again. So this is going to be 3. And this is going to be 16. What's 16 minus 9?
7.
We got 7 there. And then we got 3 minus 2. So we got 17. All right. If we want to write this as a fraction, we would put 3 and 17 over 43. If we want to write it as a decimal, we add a decimal and a 0. Bring down the 0. How many times will 43 go into 170?
3 times.
We got.
4 times?
You think maybe 4? What is 4 times 3?
12.
And then this is 16. That'd be 17. So that's too big, isn't it? So it's going to be, again, 3. So it's about 3.3. X is about 3.3. Or we could have used this number right here. Any questions? Make sure that if you keep it as a mixed number that you reduce this fraction, and it is reduced. So we leave it alone. Yes, I'm sorry.
I got about 3.98.
That's fine, because it's not, we stopped it. We truncate. We didn't go all the way out.
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
So you move the decimals on like more forward, couldn't you like move it back again?
Say it one more time. Just bring the decimal up as the last step. After you move it one time to make it a whole number here, if you have to move it twice to make it a whole number, then you have to move it twice here. But we only had to move it once. So we only moved it one time in the dividend. And the last step, of course, is just to bring that decimal up. All right, number 4. Any other questions? Ian, make sure that you're listening because you zoning out too. Do you have that written? Okay. Number 4, we have to solve for k. So we have 1 over 4k plus 5 over 8 is equal to 116. All right, to get k by itself, we're going to move this first. This is a positive 5 over 8. So we're going to subtract 5 over 8 on both sides. Okay? When you subtract 5 over 8 minus 5 over 8, this is 0. And you're left with 1/4 x. Bring down your equal sign. Here, when you're subtracting fractions, you have to have a common denominator. The least common multiple from between 16 and 8 is 16. Here, 16 didn't change, so 1 will not either. Here, we went from 8 to 16. What number can we multiply times 8 to give us 16?
2.
So to make an equivalent fraction, whatever you multiply the bottom number with, you also have to multiply the numerator or the top number. So what does that give us? 10. So we're still subtracting. It's 1 minus 10. What's 1 minus 10?
-9.
-9, and your denominator stays the same. Okay? All right, so now we want to get k by itself. So we have to get rid of the 1/4. We divide both sides by 1/4, which is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. What is the reciprocal of 1 over 4?
4 over 1.
So we multiply both sides by 4 or 4 over 1. Okay. Here, this gives us 4 over 4, which is 1k. A negative times a positive is going to give us a negative 36 on the top. 16 times 1 gives us 16. 16 on the bottom. Let's reduce the improper fraction. How can we reduce this?
Divide by 2.
We can divide both the top and bottom by 2. And so what does that give us?
18 over 8.
Negative 18 over what?
8.
Can we reduce that? Is there another number we can use that's bigger?
4.
4. Okay. So what does that give us on the top? Negative what?
-9.
That gives us negative 9 on the top over 4. This is our answer. Any questions about that problem? Make sure you're making, are you making corrections to your, where's your, what are you doing? You need to make sure that you have this written for your study guide. You already finished the study guide? Okay, well, you need to check it to make sure it's right, okay? Number 5. All right, what is the integer value of x? So all we're doing is solving for x. That's 3 parentheses x minus 5 over 3 minus 1. Okay? First thing with solving the equation is distributive property. So we have 3x minus, and we multiply over to the side. It's 3 over 1 times a negative 5 over 3, right? We already got the negative here. So when you multiply straight across, there's 15 on the top and 3 on the bottom. What's 15 divided by 3? 5. So this is negative or minus 5. Minus 1. Bring everything else down. Any questions about how we did that? Okay. Now you're going to combine like terms. After distributive property, combine like terms. You can combine these together. What's negative 5 minus 1? Negative 6. So this is 3x minus 6. Bring down the greater than or equal to x. You're solving for x, so let's move the x's to the same side. X is already over here by itself. So let's subtract 3x from both sides. This is gone. Sit up, please. This is gone. This is going to give you a negative 6 greater than or equal to. When I subtract, what's 1 minus 3?
-2.
So this is going to be negative 2x. Now what do I do?
You
Very good. Divide both sides by negative 2. So what is that going to give us here?
+3.
Positive 3 here. And what's going to happen to the inequality?
It flips.
It's going to flip. And then what's that going to give me here?
X.
So it's either this or we put x over here. This is the same thing. Do you see that?
Yeah.
The mouth is open to the x. Okay. Number 6. Okay. I don't have enough space on the bottom, so I'm going to just move to another page. It says, a parking garage charges $2 for the first hour. Okay, so it charges $2 for that first hour. And 50 cents for each additional hour. So plus 50 cents times additional hours. Okay, H. Okay. Then it says, let's see here, portion of hour. Then it says, or a portion thereof. Write an inequality and solve to find how many hours can you park if you only have $5. So this has to be either this amount of money has to be either smaller than or equal to, less than or equal to 5. It can't go over $5 because that's all you have. Does that make sense? Your H value has to be, also the H values that you're using have to be greater than 1. Because if it's just 1 hour, it's only equal to $2. Any questions about that? Okay, so let's solve. All right. So how do we get H by itself? Yes. Oh, go ahead.
Subtract 2 from
Sub-
both sides.
Subtract 2 from both sides. So this is gone, and we're left with 50H. Bring down the inequality. What's 5 minus 2? 3. Now what do we do to get H by itself?
Divide by 0.5 to both sides.
Divide by 0.5 to both sides. Okay. So now 50 cents divided by 50 cents is 1. 50 cents goes into 50 cents one time. Bring down the inequality. 3 divided by 50 cents is what?
6.
Is 6. Any questions about that? Okay, so it's 6. It has to be, H has to be less than or equal to 6 hours. Okay. Let's look at number 7. Yes.
Wouldn't you get an hour contain the first $2?
That's why we subtracted 2 first.
But then
'Cause
0.5
you still
is
gotta
multiplied
pay-
6 times.
You still gotta pay the $2.
Yeah, so wouldn't you be able to park for 7 hours?
Yeah, I guess.
If 3 divided by 6, if 3 divided by 0.5 is 6.
Let's test it out and see. Hold on. Let's test it out and see. All right. Yes, baby. Oh, who was after her? Go ahead. I don't know.
I'll wait until we get it.
Okay. Yeah, because I have no idea who came. It's so many people that has asked. I don't even know who's next, to be honest. All right. So let's test it out. Let's see. All right. So let's try 7. Let's try 7. Let's see if 7 works. All right, so let's do $2 plus what's 50 cents times 7?
$3.50.
$3.50. So now let's see if this is $3.50. So how much is this right here?
$5.50. But
$5.50. Is that less than or equal to 5?
no. But once you pay those first
Let me
$2,
pause it so everybody else is not hearing. Okay? We may have time, we may not. I ain't gonna make no promises, but we still have our test tomorrow. So if we don't finish it, please watch the video. All right. Number 7, Lisa takes a taxi to her grandfather's women to meet her grandfather at a museum. Okay. Her grandfather will give her a ride home. Okay. She only has, again, this is the same thing we did before. She only has this much money. Can y'all crack the door? That's kind of loud. $24.05 to spend. And the cost of a cab is $2 plus that 45 cent per mile. So how do we set this up? What is the maximum number of miles that Erica can drive? Can travel before she has to walk the rest of the museum. Oh, dang, that's sad. All right, so how do we set this up? We have to pay $2 automatically. Plus, we have to pay the 45 cent per mile. And the letter that we're using, does it say what letter? Nope, so we use M. All right, so this amount right here has to be less than or equal to what amount? If she only has how much? $24.05. So that's all she has. So it can't be more than that. All right, so now what do we do here? Line up by the decimal. Don't forget to do that because we're dealing with decimals. This is 45M. All right. Now what do we do? Line up by the decimal. Let's subtract. So this is going to be 3, 9, 15. And what does that give us? Oh, we didn't have to do that. 5, 0, what? 2, 2. And let me bring this down so it's not up in the air. It just looks weird. $22.05. All right, so now what do we do?
Divide by 0.5.
Very good. Okay. And is this calculator active or inactive? Okay. This is active. Okay, so we can use the calculator for this part. All right, so we have $22 and what?
5 cents.
Divided by how much?
45 cents.
Good job. And so how much did that give y'all? 49. Did the inequality flip? No. So it's 49 what? 45 miles.
49.
Well, 49. And what number was that, y'all?
7.
Thank you. Number 8. What is the solution? Look at this. If, so we're solving this again. What are we going to do first in this problem? Distributive property, which is going to give us 7x plus what? Very good. What's the next step? Yeah, but look at what we have. This side looks the same. So already we know the variable is going to cancel out. So we're left with what? 14 is equal to 14. Is this true or false?
True.
So what kind of solution is this?
Infinite solution.
Infinitely many solutions. Number 9. This very first one, this creates a circle. I think I gave that to you. The x and the y are both squared. This, that first one, A, is not a function. It creates a circle. The x and the y square. When the x and the y are both squared, it makes a circle. Here, B, let's look at the x values. 1, -2, 3, 5, -2's repeat. This is also not a function. B is not a function. Slide up, sorry y'all. C, let's look at C. It passes the vertical line test because as we move our pencil, the vertical line from left to right, This V-shaped line only touches the pencil one time as it moves. It doesn't loop back around and touch the pencil twice at the same time. So C is a function. D, rewrite the ordered pairs. We got 3, 2. We have 5. 5 goes to 0. We have 7 goes to -2. And we have 7 goes to +2. This is not a function because you see how the 7s repeat?
Yeah.
Number 10. Y'all got this or no? You want me to wait? Wait, okay. Yes. It's off by one number. You didn't do you subtracted $50 divided by. Go back and look at this is where you start right here. No, it's not the same. No, that's not the way it works. All right, let's move to number 10. Number 10, you have f of x is equal to a -4 x squared plus 6. X here is equal to -8. So all you're doing is plugging in -8 here, substituting. So you got f of x is equal to -4, put -8 in the parentheses and square. Use order of operations. So do this first. What's -8 times -8?
+64.
Very good. So we got 4 times 64. And then we're going to add 6. Okay, so what's -4 times 64? What does that give us? Negative what?
256.
Mm-hmm. Plus 6. What does that give us?
250.
-250. So y is either equal to -250, or you can write it as f of x, or you can write x here is -8, and y here is -250. That's different ways you'll see that answer. Number 11, you're finding the range of this problem. The range is your possible y values. It goes from here to here. So it goes from 0 to 24. This is your range. From 0 to 24. So y is in the middle, less than equal to, less than equal to. This is your range. Number 12. It says Candace is going to spend no more than $350 to learn how to bowl. Okay? Her bowling ball will cost $55 and her shoes will cost $35. So you combine those amounts together because you have to pay that, right?
Yeah.
Each complete game, so for every game, is $6.50. Right? Which inequality could Candace use to determine the maximum number of games? Okay, so look, how would you write that? You got the two things you have to buy is her shoes and the bowling ball. So it's $55 plus the $35 together. What does that give us, by the way?
80 or 90.
Which one? Come on, 55 plus 35. You said two different numbers.
90.
All right. Plus, you have to pay $6.50 for every game. Okay. So you cannot spend no more than what? So it has to be less than or equal to how much money? $350. Okay. Any questions about the inequality that we're writing? Okay. Number 13. Number 13, it says, this is the equation. It's telling you A stands for the amplitude, how tall, okay, above sea level. Approximately boiling water. B stands for the boiling water. So now look at what it's giving you. It says, what is the approximate boiling point of water at 3,400 feet? So they give you they give you A and want you to solve for B. So the equation is B is equal to a negative blah, blah, blah. How many zeros? 1, 2? That's right. Okay. All right. So they give you A. They tell you that A is equal to the height is 3,400 feet. So substitute that for A and find B. So here, type this in. Negative, don't forget this, the negative sign. 0.2 zeros, right? 176. Then times what? 3,400. Then plus what?
214.
Okay. So that gives you 208.016. The last one is just talking about the x values. So for 14, you got x in the middle, right? Less than, equal to, less than, equal to. So let's see what domain would possibly be, okay? It's saying that it takes a certain amount of gallons to fill up her gas. One car can only hold 20. So it's from 0 to 20. It can't hold no more than 20. This is the domain. What does X represent? X represents how much gallons of gas it can hold. So those are your possible domains from 0 to 20, because the car can't hold no more than 20. Any questions about that? This is page 30 in your notebook. Oh, Lord, thank you. We finished.